welcome to video E in our A to Z series. Today we're going to be looking at effective communication in healthcare. Now, why is effective communication important? For one thing, this aids in the patient-provider interaction in both informed consent and diagnosis and treatment, because increased articulation on both ends of the conversation helps not only the patient to understand their treatment plan and ask any questions, but also helps the healthcare provider to comprehensively understand the symptoms, medical history, and concerns of their patients. In online communities like forums or support groups, fostering this culture of open communication and providing empathy and compassion for patients as they share their experiences with others in similar situations really allows them to have their questions answered and anxieties relieved. So this is another important reason. And lastly, this open and effective communication helps to build a foundational trust and respect. When people can both understand and trust the credibility of the information that they come across on websites or other digital platforms, and when that source is authoritative and that health information is communicated clearly and intentionally to the audience. So these are just a few of the reasons why effective communication is important. What are some techniques? One thing is engaging in active listening. So giving people your full attention and focus makes in-person interactions more meaningful, and people are more likely to feel heard and respected when that happens. You can also acknowledge people's feelings and validate their emotions and show understanding through empathetic language to demonstrate your concern. And platforms that are safe spaces for people to share their experiences and talk openly are another great way to facilitate this. Additionally, and this is an obvious one, but using clear and simple language to explain concepts and then offer room for comment or feedback from your readers or listeners is a great way to welcome questions from the audience and kind of facilitate that dialogue. And lastly, visual aids and written materials like diagrams, charts, or written instructions to reinforce verbal communication. Keeping health literacy and cultural backgrounds in the front of your mind can additionally aid in that effective and open communication with your audience. The impacts of these things, for one, include the engagement and satisfaction of your audience, because when people feel that they can build that trust with you as a source of information, you have the potential to see better health outcomes as people feel empowered to take control of their health by learning more and then make decisions with full knowledge of the potential outcomes, whether those outcomes are financial or otherwise. This informed decision-making is a very significant impact. Secondly, you might see a decrease in health disparities across diverse groups, because when you have greater cultural sensitivity as you're creating and crafting these materials to share with your audience, this helps ensure that everyone receives equitable care through receiving appropriate information. They can then understand their options better, and this increased accessibility to the information in the appropriate language or format or context really ensures that we're addressing those gaps and those disparities across cultural contexts. Our expert tip for this week is to make sure to make use of free resources such as Canva, which offer great templates for infographics and other things that you can use for this purpose to really tailor your message to your audience. We also wanted to invite you to check out some other resources which have been linked with this video, such as tips for checking your work for biased language from the American Psychological Association. Additionally, there's a post from the BMJ Sexual and Reproductive Health blog on the importance of using inclusive language. And lastly, the APA's Inclusive Language Guide is another great resource. So we invite you to check these out, again, linked with this video. We hope you'll join us next week for Video F, Fewer Misunderstandings. Thank you.